It is the biggest disservice to a client when you're trying to force an off-market offer to a home seller. Let me break this down. My parents are moving from Knoxville to Las Vegas. My sister lives in Henderson, Nevada, near Las Vegas, and we're moving them, and we're getting a realtor out there. Before comps were ever made, she has an off-market offer in hand. How convenient is that? She didn't even show comparables as to what's sold in the area in the last year, last 3 months, or last 6 months. She just tried to shove down an offer. First of all, how do you know that's a good offer? We're talking about a couple $100,000 here. She's trying to push my parents into selling right now, which that's not the plan. The plan is to move in May, June timeframe. So when an agent is being pushy, what is that telling you? They're desperate for a sale. They have commission breath. They're not serving you. They're serving themselves. They're serving their wallet. I get it. They're salespeople. I'm a salesperson. I don't play those games though. What I like to do is go out to the investor list and see what prices we can get. So we at least have a baseline as to know what we can do, what we can sell it for, what I can get it off market for. And then that's your baseline. And then we put it on the market because that's really where the pool of buyers are willing to pay for what your house is really worth. What your house is worth is what buyers are willing to pay for. Now, if you're willing to accept it or not, that's our job when you hire a real estate agent, is to get the highest price and the best terms that work with your plans. I'm chafed right now because I just spent an hour with my parents discussing questions they have to ask this agent, what the expectations should be. What you need is more important than what she needs. And I get it. That's the way it might work over there. What do I know? I've never bought a house in Knoxville, Tennessee. However, when you hear those things, it pains you to know that this industry, it's hard for me to deal with a lot of these agents, and they're here too. The problem with real estate is that it's a low barrier to entry. It takes 3 tests that you can do online, each course, principles, practice, and some elective, and then pass the test to become an agent at 60%. You can get 40% of 150 questions wrong. Those questions have nothing to do with how to actually sell residential real estate. Real estate is such a vast organism. You can do commercial, you can do property management, you can do all these different things with this license. And that's part and parcel of the problem. It's just a low barrier to entry. So what happens is everybody that's suffering in different parts of the world or different industries, they go, I'm going to sell houses. I'm going to make a quick buck. And they get in, step on their toes, step on their client's toes, and make an ass out of themselves. And they go back to their job because it's frustrating. This is a frustrating job. It's a hard job. And yes, it might seem on the outside that there's not a lot that goes on. There are a lot of things that go on the back end that they're only interested in putting this offer in front of you and you should take it without seeing the comps, without seeing anything above board and being educated on the steps of what the process is. They're not serving you. They're serving themselves. So just be careful out there. And if you have questions about that, please feel free to call me. I'll just walk you through the process. And in my YouTube channel, there's hundreds of videos on how to interview agents and how to sell your house and what expectations you should see starting out. Will California homeowners relocate or both are costly? It's California. Everything's costly, right? The biggest question here is the permit process. In any big metropolitan area, you're always going to go through this process of having to get the permits approved and getting the plans approved, and then having to go through the process of paying the city or the county their desired amount so they can cash out on your build. It's very painful. Everything is expensive today. Insurance is expensive. Rebuilding is expensive. Cost of living is expensive. Just think about all those poor people. I'm not talking about the millionaires, the billionaires, and the movie stars. They are in their second or third or fourth house over in Vail, hanging out, watching their houses burn down. And it's sad. But I really feel for the regular, ordinary people that live there that have been decimated and they have no place to go. They're living in the stadium, hotels or motels or with friends. Now they have to go back and rebuild. I can tell you that a majority of them are just going to pay off their mortgage, take whatever's left over and go somewhere else because they're not going to want to rebuild. It's great for investors. It sucks for those people. The cost to rebuild is going to be far more than what they insured their houses for the most part. There's going to be a few of them that were smart about it. The insides of your house are probably not insured correctly. You should take a video of every piece of equipment and itemize it and let them know this is a MacBook, this is an iPad, this is a monitor. I paid $250 for it, whatever. This microphone is $150, and this cup right here was given to me by my daughter, so it has sentimental value to you, right? If you're ever in a predicament where you have to use your insurance on your house, don't work with their claims adjuster, but get an outside claims adjuster. And if you don't have one, I have one. There's a guy out in Pennsylvania that does this for a living. I interviewed him a couple months ago, and he will fight for you tooth and nail. He does take a portion of the difference between what their adjuster says, and he can negotiate for you. But that's how they make money. And I figure if you get $100,000 and he takes 20 or 30,000, you still got more than what your insurance company was going to give you. Please make sure you go through all those steps. Enough said about that. This article, as well as the thousands of other ones, are on the internet, but this is linked in my blog. I was going to say something about Cupertino House of the Week, but there's only 2, and we've already talked about them. The rest have been sold. There's just not enough inventory, guys. This is brand new in Willow Glen. This Willow Glen House of the Week, not my listing, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet, built in 1951. But probably has a bunch of rebuilds in the back. Nice detached garage. Big patio there. It's a big old driveway. I do not like that at all. If you want to have a parking lot, you can pay for parking. See, that's the original house right there. That was the original house, and this is the add-on right here. It looks like it's next to a big church or industrial thing. Okay, that's your Willow Glen House of the Week. Luxury Home of the Week is Stockbridge, not my listing. Wish it was. Only $21 million. 6-bedroom, 7 full baths. 11, almost 12,000 square feet and 1.1 acres, built in 2016. This thing is really gorgeous. And where is this, Atherton? Yeah, Atherton. So here it is right there. This is a gorgeous house. We were up there yesterday. My daughters had a gym competition in Redwood City. So we drove past this. The glue lamp beams. Beautiful. This is impeccable, guys. A kitchen, not a washer and dryer, but 2 washer and dryers. You got it, dude. If you're going to do opulence, you might as well do opulence. Look at that stairway and all that detail trim. That is beautiful. Look at that. I know it's not a great picture, but tray ceiling, pickleball court, pool. Wow. Yeah, if you're interested in learning, let's go take a look. 12 Bay Area sales report year to date, January 13th, 3rd week of the year. So far, we've had 162 sales in Santa Clara County, and the average price is $2.1 million, where San Mateo is still a little bit above and beyond. And I'm nowhere near being able to tell you where we are pacing wise, because we're only in the 3rd week. Once we get into the half year mark, we'll be able to do that. But things are shaking out pretty good. I can tell you that Contra Costa's numbers came in really wonky, so I just made them semi-reasonable. San Benito County, look at that, 95% list price to sale